and welcome back to segment number 3 of Life Changing Solutions Live. And today I have Danny here, and primarily it's because we started talking about one of the segments that I did last time.
That's right.
And
started a whole thing going on social media. It just exploded.
It really did. I mean, it's like not only this is the one with breaking the silence of domestic violence with Monica Aldana.
Right.
You know, she just shared her story. It was
For the first time.
Yes.
Right here.
That, I mean, by the way, I'm still blown away and so humble that she just like decided to say, hey, I trust you enough. So thank you, Monica. Big shout out to you and to Shade Tree, because also she's been working with them, and that's one of the reasons why she's using her voice and getting the message out there. But want
me to go forward?
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, what went on is I was here for the show. I was watching the show outside the studio, watching this woman tell her incredible story of domestic violence, not in just a, you know, I know there's no major, minor, but it was major.
It was.
Okay, when you start describing that my nose was exploded, and if anybody's had a broken nose, the blood when it comes to that, don't mean to go gross you out, is extreme. So she's had a lot of this. And my question was, after she left, I thought, wow, I wonder what's her responsibility to warn the next woman that falls into this man's life. Now, she's divorced, happily married, moved on, out of the situation. But now is she responsible to warn the next woman? Because of social media, she could easily find her ex. It's pretty easy. She sees that he's dating someone else who has no clue that, oh my God, if he drinks a little whiskey, he's going to put his fist halfway through her face. Does she have a responsibility to warn her? That question has been put out there to hundreds and hundreds of women, and it is just amazing the different answers that we got.
Yeah, and it's like when you asked me, I am still even, because the first thing I was like, no. Because if I'm put in that situation, and this guy was like super dangerous, and do I even want to deal with him? Do I want to expose myself and put myself in danger? And really, because what if he gets pissed off at me for ruining with this chick?
Yeah.
And then he comes after me.
Well, here's what we found out. This is what we have found out. That the most important thing to do, ladies, is to file a report. Because then there is a record. Many of the women we talked to said, I wouldn't say anything because she's just going to think I'm the crazy ex.
Yeah.
That I'm just trying to F things up because I wish, deep in my heart, I wish I had my man back. Another amazing thing that we have figured out I would say we probably, there's probably 100 women have chimed in, maybe 80, 90, I don't know. That the younger women who are more social media, has been part of their world longer, were all about, yes, I would do that. But say mid-20s to early 30s, they're all in, oh yeah, hear me roar, I got my Wonder Woman outfit on, I'm going to save this girl's life. The older women, the women that are in their 40s, 50s, late 30s, they're like, there's no way I would go back and do that. That's why it's so important to file a report with the police so that there's an official record that if this new woman wants to find, she can find it. I found that extremely interesting, the age groups and the difference of what they would do.
And it is interesting, and just like even listening to you say, like, okay, so I do my due diligence, and of course, like, even honestly, filing that report should be for your own protection.
Right.
Like, let me just put that out there. It's for your protection, so that way, if you're filing the report, that means that you're making the report and you're getting him away from you and you're taking action. So definitely encourage that. However, like a secondary, consequence or reason would be to allow the new one to be able to do their due diligence and do the research. But then that even raises a question for me, and maybe because I'm in the older generation, when I meet somebody new, I may Facebook stalk them.
I think everybody does that now, which is, like they say, Facebook is like the third date. Instead of having the first date, you're already on the third date by the time you go out on the first date because you know so much.
Right. So
you're like, man, he was in Hawaii with this other girl 2 months ago, and now he's dating me. What happened there?
Right.
And all of a sudden, it's all messed up. It's all messed up. It's not even funny anymore. So,
but I don't go checking, like, oh, do they have, and is that now a question that I'm asking, is that something that I need to do now?
Well, I would tell, I don't know, it's so interesting. I have 2 daughters, and as they get older and they get into their 20s, am I going to say, hey, new guy, what's his name? Oh, let me get on this. I think it's a reality now that we have to do this because social media has changed the game. Back in the day, you broke up with your old lady. Oops, sorry, 70s term. Don't stop the emails. You didn't see her anymore. If you didn't have children together, you split the electricity bill, and then you were gone. But now you can find them any time of day.
And I'm so sorry, but like something else that came to mind, it's like you're talking about like the generational like gap, but like the difference in response. I think also for the older, and it makes sense that they would just say no, because that is how. And again, I'm putting myself in that category. It's like we didn't grow up with, social media and the ability to find out your entire history. So we still keep things private, whereas the younger generations, it's the norm.
It is the norm.
They can stalk you and find everything out, and even they can go into public records and look for these kinds of things.
Well, what's kind of interesting to me, and because I listen to all these answers, and I always worry about the slippery slope. I always worry about, okay, you went on social media, you outed this guy as being abusive, and in the moment that might have been the thing to do. However, someone, especially as a lady, you may not punch men in the face, but you may do something that, maybe in a society might be looked at bad at. Like maybe you stepped out and had a little fling going somewhere for a couple weeks and someone found out about it. Now they outed you. It's a slippery slope to where for the moment you feel like you're a Wonder Woman, you did the right thing, but now someone has outed you on something maybe you're not so proud of.
And another thing to look at, and something that came up for me as well, and this is like a big thing too, but what if that person was abusive in the time that they were with you?
I don't mean to interrupt you, but that's another point. Some women had said, I've watched the new relationship on social media, and it seems like they're all happy. Everything seems to be okay. So, was it me? Was I the trigger that caused this guy to be abusive? I will tell you for a fact, you might have been the trigger at that instant, but that don't mean the trigger doesn't exist in other instances. For men who have anger management problem, the trigger is always there. You just happen to be the one that set off the trigger that time. So no, it's not you. You just may have got the trigger pulled by something you said or did, but the problem lies with the individual who has the anger management problem, not you.
Or it also could have been where, because of you, they now got the help that they needed, or they realized that, it wasn't okay what happened. So now, with the next one, they're turning a new leaf.
Right.
And so at no point should you blame yourself for being responsible for whatever actions, the abuser did.
Well, I know we only got a minute and 20 minutes, and thank you for letting me come on. But I talking to men, I will tell you, the ones who have snapped and have the trigger go off, a lot of them say, she just wouldn't shut up. She just kept coming and coming and coming, and she's in my face. And
women don't do that.
She just wouldn't. She didn't see the signal that she was literally cornering me. And some men can deal with that. The trigger is way low, but some men who the trigger's near the surface can't handle that. And they always say, for the most part, she just wouldn't let up. And it got to the point where it was triggered. Now, I'm not an expert. I don't know if it's right, wrong, and don't stop the emails, please. But that's what a lot of men say.
And I believe it, and I think it goes both ways. And so ultimately, communication with your partner and knowing each other's triggers, knowing how to say time out, Going to Shade Tree to get resources and information if you feel that you're
Right.
kind of in that type of relationship, because not every relationship is doomed. Not everybody who has an anger management is going to abuse you. Not every woman is going to nag you to death. Although I am one of those. But just really, get the information, do what
Get
you
the help.
can. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So that's that. Thank you so much, Danny.
No problem. I always love it. Thank you.
Bye.